My name is Jasper Widner, and today I'll be talking about the issues in solitary confinement and how we can reform it. Can you imagine being stuck in a room smaller than the size of a parking space for 23 hours a day? No human contact, no darkness to sleep, no abstract items to pass the time. That's exactly what people in long-term solitary confinement have to go through. Long-term solitary confinement has popped up on many health officials' radars in recent years. They see a decay in the mental state of prisoners and coincidentally an increase in prisoners in solitary confinement. And today you will see why reforming solitary confinement is best for the interests of the prisoners in solitary confinement. First off, solitary confinement causes mental illnesses. When in solitary, the harsh conditions play a role in your mental state. You're either sent there for your charge, a disruption, or because you're a safety threat to general population or to yourself. As you can see, this is a picture of a solitary cell. It's just plain white. They have the fluorescent lighting coming through at all times and the outside light. And it's just, as you can see, it's the size of a parking space. It's very small. According to Ashley Halverson, prisoners go through isolation panic, which consists of panic, rage, loss of control, and completely break down. And if you were stuck inside this, I think it's safe to say that you would do the same thing. So to fix this, we can offer more time outside for solitary prisoners, give them human contact so they're not stuck in this cage for 23 hours a day. Next, solitary can worsen the mental state of already the mentally ill. Many prisoners who are in solitary because they can't help it. They think what they're doing is right because they have no idea what they are doing. Some mental illnesses that are common in solitary confinement are schizophrenia and depression. According to the ADA, Title II prohibits discrimination against qualified individuals with disabilities in all programs, activities, and services of the public, which includes prisons. And as you can see in this, this is a quote from a prisoner in solitary, Todd Fickett. He says, "Down here makes you feel like you're being buried alive." So this is just a part of the harsh conditions that they go through. And to fix this, for the mentally ill, we can have health officials, experts in the prisons so that the mentally ill can get the help that they need, so that when they are released, or they can be released, they can go back to general population, or they're not a safety threat to themselves or society. Lastly, solitary is really counterintuitive. Prisoners put into solitary confinement have a higher recidivism rate, which is the rate to reoffend, than prisoners who are not in solitary confinement, according to repository law. Also, Antiguan states that when locked away, prisoners look for any way to relieve pain, and that makes them much more aggressive and violent. And many prisoners get released straight out of solitary into the real world, and if they're still violent and aggressive, they can take those actions and put them into action, actually, and harm other citizens. And this is a statistic about solitary that shows how it's counterintuitive. The cost per prisoner in high security prisons is $69.41, and cost per prisoners in high security prisons in special management units is $119.71. So it's a $50.30 difference per prisoner. That's how much it costs to fund solitary confinement and the prisoners in it. So today we've discussed how prisoners in solitary cause mental illnesses, worsen the mental illness state of the already mentally ill, and that solitary confinement is counterintuitive. And all we really need to do is to put health officials, experts in there, and to shorten the length of solitary confinement. Studies show that if you're in solitary for over a week, your brain already starts to decay and you start to form some type of mental illness. There does need to be a punishment, of course, for prisoners that harm themselves, harm others, create or do unspeakable things, but it does not need to be long-term solitary confinement for the better of the jail themselves and society as a whole. And also, solitary confinement costs more for taxpayers and American citizens. These are my sources for my presentation.